Hey everyone, my name is Taylor Vandymark, and this is my Battling Bad Science video presentation. The topic of my research paper is how anxiety and depression are associated with those who have post-traumatic stress disorder, also known as PTSD. Throughout my research, I have found a relationship between PTSD, anxiety, and depression, as well as how it affects the person who has these life-altering conditions. Throughout this presentation, you will be enlightened with information regarding the differences in studies that I have found. I will be comparing the highest quality study with the lowest quality study. Then, I will discuss the relation of the two studies. That will include information on the internal validity and external validity, as well as the need for further research. First, let's compare the highest quality study with the lowest quality study. In my research, I found my highest quality study to be Miles et al. 2017 with the title of Delivery of Mental Health Treatment to Combat Veterans with Psychiatric Diagnosis and TBI, also known as Traumatic Brain Injury Histories. My lowest quality study was by Gilroy H. et al. 2014 with the title of Problem Solving and Mental Health Outcomes of Women and Children in the Wake of Intimate Partner Violence. The purpose of both of these studies were quite different. The purpose of my lowest quality study was to determine health outcomes of women and children in the wake of intimate partner violence. The purpose of my highest quality study was to assess if veterans with traumatic brain injury histories attended more psychotherapy sessions than those without traumatic brain injuries. Despite both of these studies being different, these studies are still able to be compared in terms of their design, as well as their findings. The study design for my lowest quality study was for victims to fill out surveys that best analyze their levels of abuse. The study design behind my highest quality study was to determine veterans' recovery from their disorders throughout the fiscal year by recording their symptoms. The final comparison between the two studies was their findings. Both had similar findings in the fact that the patient's mental health was altered based on their past traumatic events. Their symptoms were recorded when they sought out help in these facilities. Now we will further discuss the validity of these two studies. Internal validity refers to how well an experiment is done. First, I'll discuss the internal validity of the lowest quality study. In my low quality study, there was not a diverse nature of the sample. Most of the participants were an ethnicity and found in one area of town. There wasn't much expansion regarding who was a part of the study or where the study took place. It was not consistent. However, in my high-quality study, there was an adequate study group who were veterans that not only had been diagnosed with PTSD, depression, and anxiety, but had a psychoanalysis recorded during their doctor's visit. Their mental health systems were recorded, and the group of veterans were monitored thoroughly. Next in our discussion is external validity. This is defined as the extent to which the results of the study can be generalized to other situations and people. In the low-quality study, the populations were very dense. It was mainly ethnicity of Hispanic women who had experienced multiple abusive relationships. The 285 participants were women ranging in 18 to 52 years old. The length of their relationships with the abuser varied significantly. In the high-quality study, the population was 55,458 combat veterans, 31 of the with a depressive disorder, 22% with an anxiety disorder, 57 had PTSD, and 20 had TBI history. There is a need for further research in this subject. One part that I think could be addressed that had not been touched upon in the low-quality study was the biological differences between participants. I think gender, age, and ethnicity could have been represented more. I think men could have easily been a part of the study, as they can get abused too and receive PTSD, depression, or anxiety from it as well. I also think there could have more could have been done than just handing out surveys to their participants. Overall, these studies provided a lot of insight on how anxiety and depression were associated with PTSD. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.